All right. Welcome to the Deprogram show. I'm your host, RMJR. We got a very special guest in the building, a reoccurring guest in the building as well. The one, the only, the lyrical KB Brown. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing? How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain. I can't complain. Man, it's
Man,
been a minute since we got together on this thing.
it was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. I know it was coming. It was coming back around.
We'll touch on it a little bit. What you been working on, man?
Man, I'm about to. I've been wrapping up on a new project. I'm looking to release probably in the next month or so. And start of 2021. I'm just trying to go crazy with the music.
Okay.
Just all the way, all year long.
What's the project called?
Uh, I just came up with a title the other day. It's gonna be called Introvert.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's it. We gonna start off right there. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? We gonna start off right there.
What's up?
Okay, so introvert, that describes a person. So if you name in the project introvert, we gonna go on and say, you could correct me if I'm wrong, introvert will describe you, correct?
Right, correct.
So what do you think people miss? Because I'm an introvert myself. A lot of people miss things when it comes to dealing with introverts. What are you trying to convey on the project?
Like I'm different from everybody else. Like I'm my own person. Like I don't have to be around crowds. It can just be me, and I can be completely fine with it. Like I don't have to. I'm not looking for attention from somebody else. I just rather stay minding my own business, doing my own thing. I'm not worrying about what everybody else going on. So I'm just introducing the world to me, the inside of me, and let them know like how I am as a person. So that's where that whole introvert come in at, just to give people insight on me as a person.
Okay. So based on your music so far, and I believe your music convey you as a man, what
Mm-hmm.
what route, like standing on principles, first of all, who helped instill the principles in you that you got as a man?
Running Hill,
Shout out
Running
to
Hill,
OG Running Hill.
Running Hill. From he came into my life when I was 3 years old. I just turned 30 a few days ago. So that's 27 years. Like from day one, he taught me stand on morals, stand on principles, stand on respect, step on man, stand on royalty. Like be a man all the way around. Just be well rounded in every area that you can. Man, I learned so much for that man, and I got nothing but appreciation and gratitude for him. So when that day come where I can hand him off a bag, that's gonna be the first person I give it to, because everything I learned from then up to now is because of him. Everything I learned from that man right there. So shout out to OG running here.
And when I say OG, I'm speaking in terms of knowledge. Y'all can take it however y'all want to take it. But when you get somebody dropping gems and pouring knowledge in you, it's okay to call them OG. You ain't got to be no gangster.
Nah, you don't have to be no gangster, but that's just a part that he got different layers to him. So rather knowledge, gangster wise, whatever. Like it don't stop. I mean, we don't have to discuss none of that on camera, but just know with that OG attached to his name, like it's official. Like he a real OG.
Okay. So let me ask you this. We're gonna get into this. What makes you navigate through this city and through the world? What makes you what are you teaching the youth that you feel like have stuck by what you teach them through the music, or because I know you go talk to them as well through
Mm-hmm.
the music and also outside the music? What do you teach them?
Man, I'm basically my whole message is to be yourself, man. You don't have to follow the trends. You don't have to follow nobody. Like you can do your own thing, and you don't have to worry about what everybody else what everybody else got going on, man. It's cool to be yourself. It's cool to do the right thing. It's cool to go to school. It's everything that the media that try to portray for you not to be. I'm saying through my music, like it's okay. It's okay to do that. You know, I think for the most part, man, we just get stuck up on the trends and we follow what everybody else doing. And so, like with today's music, man, they talk about drugs, sex, and all that. And I think my benefit to it, like when you got somebody who come from the community and they look like everybody else, they were like, okay, well, maybe he know what he talking about then because he come from where we come from. But the only difference between me and everybody else is just the route that I chose. Like I chose to do the right thing. I chose to go to school. I chose to get an education. I chose to gain knowledge because I wanted to see different from me. I want to see different from my loved ones. I want to see different from I want to see different from everybody that's around me. So that's my main reason why I chose the path that I chose, just to try to make everyone around me better.
Okay, why do you think people choose the route they chose? Because I know you had somebody guiding you, and you have your way of choosing. But why you think the ones who choose the other route? Why you think they choose that?
I mean, even though I had someone guide me, but still, when I was coming up, OG was still had his hand in the streets. So my thing was I just had to learn from his mistakes. So he was guiding me without guiding me. Like everything that he went through back then, like I had a choice. It's whether I can grow up and do the same things that he can did, or I can learn from his mistakes and make sure I don't make them mistakes. Because man, I grew up just like everybody else, like having friends who died early, who went to jail serving life sentences and all that. I was dealt with that same hand, but it was just something in me that said I don't want that for myself. So that's really how that came about.
So, like, being that it's glamorized to us in our community to go get that bag by selling dope, being a gangster, and all that,
Yep.
like, when you dealing with dudes you know who done got time, what do you like personally? How do that affect you once they? Because we always hear it in music, but we don't
Mm-hmm.
never hear about people talking about. Okay, my homeboy he got this time, or my homeboy died. This is how it
Mm-hmm.
affect me because it affects
Mm-hmm.
more than just that individual.
Mm-hmm. Man, hold on. Repeat the question again. I'm just trying to
All
make
right,
sure I'm touching on the right thing.
it's a two part. How
Okay.
do it affect you when one of your homeboys who y'all tight get
Mm-hmm.
caught up in the streets and they go to jail? That's the first part. We'll deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, man. Like I got one of my homeboys. I talk to him often, but man, and I haven't really talked to him in a few years. So he just happened to reach out to me like on Facebook, and in a perspective, like he been in prison like over 10 years already, and then we about the same age, like 30, 31, and it's just like man, like we had the same opportunity, but that just goes to show like the decisions that you make, it can affect you 10 years on down the line. But what I try to do is just try to keep that motivation and encouragement for them. Like, man, like, okay, hopefully by the time that you get out, I can have something set up for us so we can get this thing rolling. So you can already have something set up when you come from the penitentiary. But I don't know, man. It's just crazy, like having like homeboys that you grew up with, just locked behind bars, can't do nothing. Like they waste their whole 20s, whole youth behind bars, man. That's just so crazy to me.
Man, it's crazy because we see that on the daily, and then guys like yourself, I'm pretty sure you tried to drop little gems at them and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, bro, this ain't the way." I don't know the way per se, but I know that ain't the route.
Nah, that is not the route. Like, man, it's crazy because we see it so much, and it's just like by now we should have been learned from other people's mistakes, but it just seemed like it's a program thing. Like it's just a cycle just keep continuing, but it's just really up to the person to decide if they want to break that cycle or not. And luckily, I'm one of the ones like to actually show people like it can be done. But
Like,
everybody don't really have that mindset. Like you're a product of your environment, so it's just like, man, you just wish that you can go and if you get a chance to go out and see the rest of the world, go do that. But because a lot of people, they haven't even been past Rossville, Fort Overthrow, or nothing like that. So you can't really expect for them to know more if they haven't seen more. So,
like, okay, when you talk about like we know guys who died. Why do you think guys who die or live their life? Because you said if you thugging in these streets, you need to get some
yeah,
life insurance. Why you think they don't do that, man? Because it's like if you know you wildin', bro, why you think they just don't go on and handle up and be prepared for it? Why you think that is?
They just I call that being selfish. You being selfish towards your whole family. If something happen, you leaving them with that burden to make sure that you buried and put away. And I really think that's selfish, man, because like if you in the streets, you know those consequences, man, and you know what come behind it, make sure you cover just in case of something happen. But I think people just they live that lifestyle and just think it's gonna last forever. But it's a proven fact. There's only two ways out. It's rather death or jail.
And it's like, do you get the sense that it's like they paint through the programming, because this is the Deprogram show, through the programming they paint the picture that, okay, you only have these options for us as a black man. You're going to go to jail for selling dope. You're going to get killed for gang banging. Like, it's always, we've been taught to glorify the negative. And that's just because we pay attention to the programming. And you even said that we've been programmed to follow the program.
The program. Yeah.
And I posted the other day, speaking on program, I posted, was it yesterday? I said, or a couple of days ago, I posted on Facebook. We are born labeled as kids, but we striving to be the GOAT. The levels of programming is so deep. And I'm explain to you what I mean by that. What most people don't know is they changed the definition of kid. The original definition of kid means a baby goat. And what it do when you are labeled a kid, you striving to be the best that you could be. So if psychologically, if you label a kid, you are striving for GOAT status.
Right.
But people don't understand that to become a GOAT, you got to do all kind of really treacherous things, for lack of a better word.
True.
And people don't understand that, okay, I'm going to take it biblical for just a moment. In the Bible, it say you got the sheep on one side, which would be classified as the people who trying to live righteous like yourself. And then you got the goats on the other side, the people who just cutthroat, they going to get it however. So navigating through it, trying to live righteous, while these people program to be goats. And it's like once you want to be the GOAT, because that's just the maturity in us. We want to be the best we could be. So once you want to be the GOAT, you'll cutthroat, you'll do whatever. Like, do you see that? How do you see that playing out around you? Because I see it. That's why I made the comment. How do you see that?
Man, let's see. Hold on, let me see. So the question you asked is,
okay, what? Like the question is, because I went on a tangent, but the question is, when you like striving to be on this status level based on programming,
Mm-hmm.
how do you see people? Okay, it's like you'll have a basketball player or a person in
Mm-hmm.
one area of their life in one box, because I like to call it a box. In this box, like rapping would be a box.
Mm-hmm.
Once you done with rapping, or if you play basketball, once you done with this box, you are relevant in this box. But once
Mm-hmm.
that's over, especially if you play sports, you want to still be relevant in whatever you do. So
Right.
you'll do anything to maintain that level of relevance. How have
Mm-hmm.
you seen that play out around you? Like people just do whatever to stay relevant. Like you might know a dude who played ball, or a dude had them gas, and then when he get children, or he graduate from high school and he don't go to college, he'll.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen that play out where these guys striving to just keep that level of status?
Are you talking about like living through their children?
No, just either living through their children, or like if you the man in school and high school over, so you still gonna do anything to be the man.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to keep that pride and ego.
Yeah. How have you seen that play out around you just in your life?
Man, I see that every day, all day. Like, man, dudes hold on to that, like the status that they had in high school, and still try to live off that, and don't want to do nothing else besides that. I don't know, man. But I see that day in and day out. Like, dudes just still living dreams from 20 years ago.
I hear what you're saying. That's one of the reasons for me. I'm 37. I'll be 38 in March.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, I was finna be 18. I was
Right.
finna graduate high school. When I was finna graduate high school, I had to dream, hey, I'm gonna be this big rapper.
Right.
So what happened with me is life hit. I went to,
Life hit.
yeah.
Life. Yeah.
Then I had a daughter, and now I'm
Mm-hmm.
married.
Oh, it's real now.
So now I gotta be like, man, check this out. For y'all who want, and then I learned the industry. So for me, I was like, I'm cool with that. I still
Mm-hmm.
hop on the track, or if I'm rapping to spit knowledge. So I'm like, man, I'm cool. Let me handle my business as a man and help my wife and help my daughter mature.
Mm-hmm.
So, cause at one point, we all want to be, hey, let me be the man. And what
Yeah,
I
you want
mean
to be
by
the
the
man.
by the
Mm-hmm.
man in status, you be like, man, this is crazy. Like, cause if I'm famous for rapping, and I thank God I was never Chattanooga famous for rapping, so it wouldn't have went to my head. That's just me. Because I see a lot of dudes,
That's
you know,
that's that's another downfall of a lot of rappers in Chattanooga. So that's a whole nother story. But if you want to touch
let's
on that,
let's go.
let,
I mean,
let's
this is
get
the
it.
Deprogram show, man. Let's talk about it.
Man, it's just like, man, you can, and I can't even lie, man. It kind of got to me at first, but then once you start traveling outside the city, man, you see as much more than Chattanooga. Like, man, it didn't take for me to get a little fame in Chattanooga, so I went to Texas and I won a showcase and won $10,000. So after that, like, okay, everybody see like, okay, this dude, he's serious, like, okay. But when you let them views get to your head and then you start building the ego, then you don't want to collab with nobody or do anything. They kind of put you in this bad space, and and word spreads quick on your name. So and once you do that, don't nobody want to work with you. And after a while, man, like that buzz that you got, like as soon as you get hot, the faster it go out. So I was just like, man, people don't be want to network and like, man, I'm this person and that person and all that. But I think, man, if you get a buzz, you really got to utilize maximize on that opportunity while you can to grow and spread throughout the city. Because I'm like, man, what's likes and views? I mean, anybody can get that, but it's all about what you do with it. But I think that's the downfall of a lot of rappers. We like, okay, we got views and all that, but they don't mean nothing if it's not, if your stuff is not monetized, or you not registered through like ASCAP or BMI or something like that, or you don't have your music copywritten. It's basically you working for free. You working for free. So all that work, all them views, you can't even capitalize off of it. You supposed to be seeing thousands of dollars, but you still in the same spot that you in because you living off the buzz that you got. You not capitalizing on nothing. I mean, you can light up, but you can also go cold.
Have you noticed, like, I'm gonna ask you this, because I ain't never asked no, and you can refuse to answer if you want to, but I'm gonna just ask. I've noticed, have you noticed that most of the people who gain status, I ain't gonna say all, but most of the people who gain status, once you really get to know them, in this city, they be fake.
Yep. Yep.
Because I ain't gonna call no names, but I'm gonna keep it real. There's a couple dudes, couple women too, who I know. They got they in the in crowd in Chattanooga. So once I got to know them, and I seen how they would sell out to stay in the in crowd, I was like, I'm straight.
Like, nah, man, it make you change change your whole perspective on them.
But it's like our city, man. It's like our city have that mentality of
it's that still that crab in the bucket. Crab in the bucket. You try to get out, but you still get pulled back down by your own folks. And once you get a little fine, man, people just
Cause one thing a guy was telling me at work, man, he was like, bruh, he said, he pulled me to the side. He said, man, I want to tell you this. And I feel like it apply to you too. He was like, bruh, for what you doing, all the stuff you put out for us, just knowledge wise. He said, I see how many people that follow you or friends with you on the book and all this other stuff. He said, you should have more engagement than you got. And that made me think about something. And I was like, it made me think about the question I just asked you. And then it made me recognize once you real in this city,
you're going to get overlooked, man. That's automatic. You're going to get overlooked.
Why you think that is? Why you think they overlook the real ones?
Because, man, when you speaking that truth, man, it just go in and out. Like when you trying to get somebody knowledge or get them knowledge about something, man, most folks don't want to hear it if you got a closed mind. So only the open-minded people, the ones gonna be able to understand it. So it just depends on the mindset of the person when you talking to them. Like, man, I can spit the wisdom all day, but if you don't have the open mind to listen, that is gonna go in. They're gonna go in and out of the other ear. So it's just like it's falling on deaf ears. But if you been through some things and like you won't change, and then you hear someone music like man, you gonna completely understand it, man, because you know the feels, you know the emotion, you know where I'm coming through, you know where I'm trying to go with it. So that's why I get like my diehard fans. It's just the ones who have an open mind and want to understand and want to do better in life. But yeah, most of the time, man, it fall on deaf ears, man.
So have you peeped that in your career so far that like, man, I know I'm hitting home, so I know it should be more people than what it is engaging.
Yeah, most definitely, because man, when I came out my first video, man, but before then nobody really know who I was. But the first day I came out, I did 10,000 views the first day. That just off no promotion, no ads, no nothing. That's just me just putting some music out, just putting a video out, and just let it see what it do. But man, I deal with that trouble. Like, man, like, okay, we know KB cold, but we don't want to hear that right now. We wanna turn up in the club right now. Like, people tune into my music like when they going through something. Like, let it be a crisis going on. My screen's going through the roof. My screen's going through the roof every time. But
Yeah.
then after that little situation that down, man, we want to turn up, we want to party, and which that's cool. But either way it go, Red, if you want to turn up or not, my mission gonna always be the same.
Cause man, like, okay, for instance, me and you both, we was on the I Can't Breathe song.
Yes, sir.
So, and due to the fact that George Floyd just happened, and then it was Juneteenth. We dropped the video. The
Right.
video went crazy.
It went stupid.
Then after that, they kept playing it, but it's like you said, it's like, okay, let's go back to normal.
Let's go back to normal. Let's go back, turn up. Let's pull the lean. Let's turn up.
It's crazy because honestly, bro, from your first video to whatever the last song you dropped, you ain't stopped the message and you ain't stopped being consistent. But it's like you should have the same 10,000 fans or 20 or whatever you had at 1st. That should be your core audience. But I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think if you was in New York or the A, you'll have a bigger reception. Because it's like, no matter how cold you are, you got to be on some diamond stuff down here. And that's
you got to. But man, I stand on too much morals and principles to even let myself even go out like that. I was just like, man, the price of fame is not worth that to me. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to change lives and like just showing people a better way, man. So going out on crash dummy missions, man. No, I'm not even gonna allow myself to do that. I will stop doing it before I even have to attempt to even do that.
all right.
Like if I can't do it my way, I'm just not gonna do it at all.
All right, I got a question, and it's gonna be dope. Like, say you had this 2-part. Say you had a young man in front of you who you seen was finna go on a crash dummy mission, like you just spoke on.
Right.
What would you tell him? Like, cause I know you projected through your music, but if you could talk to him directly for a few minutes, what would you tell a young man who about to go on a crash dummy mission?
Look, bro, is you thinking about your mama, thinking about your sisters? I don't know if you got a child or not. Like, is you thinking about them? Like, come on, bro. You willing to go down the road for some folks who not even gonna put money on your books? Like, if something was to happen to you, if you was to get killed today, it's gonna be your mama and your family have to raise money and do fish fries to bury you, bro. You wanna do that, bro? Like, bro, come on. I start naming people. Like, okay, you remember, bro, from this so and so and so and so and so. I'm like, bro, look at him now, bro. He in the penitentiary serving 40 years, bro. You want to do that? You want to do that just because you want to be loyal to a gang that ain't loyal to you, bro? Come on, man. Man, with them, bro, you just gotta shoot it to them straight, bro. Like, you can't really sugarcoat it, because these conversations that I have, like, with a lot of youngers just from around the way, bro. Like, when I just see them like stealing bikes, I mean, I even had these conversations with my own nephews. Like, my nephews, they getting of age now, like 19 to 20, almost 21 years old. But man, when they was coming to age, being like 13, 14 years old, man, they was doing a lot of robberies and all that. I just really had to sit them to the side, like, bro, like, come on, you're gonna mess up your whole life because of that. And then now they starting to realize that, like, when you got felonies and stuff on your records, you can't even get a job. So I was just like, man, it just you really have to be honest with them, and like, you got to give them examples of people that they know. And like, bro, okay, you can go down that road if you want to, but look, this is what you can expect. And I'm like, bro, you can look at your uncle and you can see the route that I'm taking. You see what I'm doing. And if you want this, it's attainable. Like you can get it. And I'm gonna show you how to get it. It's just all about having someone right beside you to guide you. So I just think this is what they need, man. People just really need that guidance.
So like so that would be you providing to them what Ronnie Hill provided to you.
Mm-hmm. But more so with Ronnie Hill, it wasn't about what he told me. It was about more what he showed me.
Wow, hey, check this out. And you said he didn't even verbalize it. But the reason you got the message is because of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you sitting there, you strategizing, you looking, okay, Pops did this. I see what happened from this. So let me, man, I don't want that. Let me go over here.
I don't want that, man. I give you a prime example, man. I was probably like 8 years old. And Randy was dropping me and my mom off downtown Chattanooga. I grew up in that area, downtown Chattanooga. And I remember the police pulling us over and they called him by name. Told him to get out the car. They somebody had snitched on him. So he had to end up going away for a while. And I remember them coming back to our house, bum rushing our house. And he about to take my mama to jail. So it's just like, man, I don't want to bring that. I don't want to bring that on my family like that lifestyle. So that's another reason why I didn't choose that route, because I seen the pain that it did to me and my family this when Renner was going through it. So that's one of them things like, man, I really want different. I don't want my mama crying and worrying about where I'm at or if I'm coming home or me being in jail or none of that.
Man, it's crazy, but like, if just think though, your mind was sharp enough to say, "Nah, this ain't it."
Mm-hmm.
I've heard dudes say, I don't know if you ever looked at somebody who whole goal was to go to the penitentiary?
Yeah.
Like that be their whole goal.
Yeah, I got homeboys like that. They probably have an uncle or their dad or cousin or something like that. And that's the main issue that I had with my nephews, because they older brother was like a high-ranking gang member, in which he was gunned down a few years ago. But as they was coming up, they was like, okay, my brother is this dude, and like he in and out the penitentiary. And I'm like, man, how do y'all want to follow that and knowing like all the stuff that he getting into? Man.
Like, think about this though. I think this why, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Not just with them, but anybody. Like, if they don't have the mindset that you got, and they look at this dude, oh, this our role model. Cause you got youngsters who do this. Oh, man, big bro, he got respect, he got whatever, and don't nobody play with him. And they look at him going to the penitentiary. He know how to saddle up and handle his business.
Right.
So they say, man, that's what I want to be. And in their mind, they like, man, he a OG, I'm gonna be a OG.
Right.
And it's crazy, like the program, man, it goes past the TV, because okay, the TV might program the OG to be the OG. Now, just like Ronnie did to you, you seen it different, but it's programming the little baby or the little brother. Man, hey, you ever seen this? Dudes who have children or have little cousins, they be from a hood, they throw up the hood and they tell, hey man, throw that up. And they taking pictures with them. Then they whole existence, they done been brought up to be that.
You become a product of your environment.
Man,
I see that so much. Like what I'm saying now, the dudes my age, I'm saying like they little brothers, like who's kids, like when we was coming up, they coming up doing the same exact thing. And back then they was probably like about 8, 9 years old. Now they starting to reach 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. And it's just a repeated cycle.
Like, why you think? All right, we both have. I'm gonna go and touch on it. We both have these churches. We both have these schools. Why you think ain't no? Why you think people ain't really intervening? They say they are, but I'm talking about for the mass. Now you got a few people who are. I ain't gonna say everybody ain't, but why you think most people be like, man, I'm straight. I don't want to deal with it.
Because man, they don't want that on their back. Man, the more knowledge you get, the more of a target you become. That's really how that is. So they don't want to help the solution. They just want to help to the destruction of the black man. They want us to fail, so they don't want to intervene.
But this one thing I don't understand about us being, especially the black man. In our culture, we are taught to hate the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the things that we also do, we keep the police employed.
Yeah, we keep the police in business. Yeah.
I just, for the life of me, I just don't understand. I'm like, bro, you say you hate 12, F12 and all that. But you out here campaigning, as Jay Prince say, to get elected by 12.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, okay, if I kick in the door, or I rob a dude, and I'm doing this, and I got this pack, and I'm pushing this dope, that's how I campaign to go to prison.
Right.
So how do I hate the police if that's how I'm campaigning? Seem like I love them.
Nah, man, they just a gimmick, man. That's all that is. You just hate the police because everybody else hate the police.
But this is my thing. Can I get mad at you if I come on your job, whatever your job, and you do your job? Can I get mad at you for doing your job?
Nah, you're just doing your job. You're just doing your job. But I think when people get mad, it's just how they abuse their power. But that's really a different story. I mean, that's kind of off. But if you're just doing your job and just doing what you're supposed to do, then I have no reason to hate you. It's just when you abuse your power and you abuse your authority, and then you just use excessive force, then that's where it becomes an issue.
I'm with that. This is my thing too. This is me. I understand where the police come from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand that the police
you're supposed to protect and serve. So that's your job. You put your life. You took an oath to protect and serve the people.
Like, check this out. You know what it was really formed? Like the origins of the police? Check this out. I'm gonna give it to you. After slavery, the origins of the police were to find a way to entrap the ex-slave to be a slave again.
I have heard of that. I just didn't know that term. I didn't know it in that. I didn't know it was an actual thing, but I've actually heard of that.
Yeah, because what they did after slavery, they said, okay, now all these dudes free. The people who was pushing this label, they was free. And they even put it in the law. The 13th Amendment says if you commit a crime, it could be punishable by slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you go to jail and you working and you getting slave wages because you just signed up to be a slave again.
All right.
So
that makes sense too. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
The original police, the police was really like, what were they called? The original laws were called slave codes.
Slave codes. Okay.
And see, the police, we are taught the police are, I'm going to break it down even like this. The word police, they changed the spelling. It's really paid for by the rich, leased out to the poor. Poor lease.
Poor lease.
They just flipped it on us. So what they do is, all right, we gonna protect and serve the people who got this bag, this real bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they break in my house or your house, man, we'll get there when we get there. But they break in this business, this multi-million-dollar business, who really fund our salary. Oh, we got to get there. Or matter of fact, we gonna make sure they don't break in their business because we gonna be stationed around it.
All right.
So they were meant to protect and serve. They protect the business and serve the poor man.
Mm-hmm.
So they doing their job. You just gotta understand they function.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's like, even with us, the reason they'll kill us and keep it pushing, two reasons. For one, when they look at me and you, we don't even see a full human when they look at us.
Mm-mm.
So, not only are we gonna kill you, but based on the law, we ain't even gonna do no time, because for one, we got qualified immunity. Then we look at you as 3/5 of a human being. You're not even a whole person.
3/5 of a man.
But what they do is, they tell us, okay, go and apply these principles, and you gonna be all right.
But who do they really work for?
The people that they look at as human beings. They don't even look at us as human beings. You feel me?
Yeah, so the same thing don't even apply. They tell us to be the best that we can be, but how can we be the best if you setting us up for failure?
But see, what they do is, all right, they'll do this. Okay, we got this young rapper KB Brown up out of Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
He can influence people. So what we gonna do is, hey man, let's come on in here. Man, we know you can rap.
Mm-hmm.
But we want you to talk about this. We hear you with the understanding. We hear you with all this. But we want you to talk about this, because this gonna get that bag. And we gonna give you this bag to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to be honest, bro. This how this go. And I know you know it. You can't tell me, and folks will get mad. I'm gonna go for the gusto. You might disagree. You can't tell me that you can't out rap Lil Baby line for line. You can't tell me you can't. I say it for you. You feel me? But see what it is. The difference is Lil Baby willing to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, okay, we'll dangle Lil Baby as the GOAT. KB, we see what he on from the jump. Man, let's push that back there.
Yeah. And it's crazy you say that, man, because I've actually went through that.
I know you have.
Man, it's plenty of times like, man, I'm supposed to have shows, places, but mysteriously it get canceled some way, shape or form. It get canceled all of a sudden, and then don't nobody have an explanation of why it was canceled.
I'm gonna give you the explanation why it was canceled. All right, check this out. I'm gonna use myself. You got KB and you got RMJR on the same stage. Mm-hmm. KB can out rap RMJR. So RMJR might have a bigger name. It was just using it as an example. So what I'm gonna do, hey bro, hey man, I ain't gonna perform if KB gonna be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, man, take that man. He take him out the show. I don't know what you guys tell him, but I ain't coming if he coming. Cause for one, if I know you could beat me rapping, so I'm gonna isolate you out.
All right.
So, well, KB, unfortunately events happen. We're gonna have to take you off the show.
Man, that sounds so familiar, man. Like we go explore other options. We gonna take a different route. Yeah, we're gonna take a different route. We reviewed our stuff and we decided we want to go with other options. Man, I supposed to do a performance at a college campus. I'm not even gonna say it because I'm not even gonna put them out there. But just because of the line that I said and understanding about student loans, like just putting game on student loans, they cancel my whole performance just because of that one line. This was 2018. That one line canceled my whole performance.
You know why?
Yeah, because I'm putting them up. I'm putting them up on game.
It's so cold. We don't even want that one line said.
We don't even want that one line saying. So we just gonna put them. We just gonna take them out completely. Yeah, yeah. That actually happened because of one line. One line. They canceled my whole performance because of that one line.
And programming. Okay, that's how we get out. Okay, well, I'm the university. Now we can't have that. That's how we make our money off student loans.
Yeah, that's how we make our money. And then we get this guy coming up here, he rapping about it, and then he putting influence in the students' heads and get them thinking, oh no, we can't have that. I was booked and everything. This was like a couple days before I was supposed to win and did it. So they were like, nah. They like, nope, we don't want no parts of that. Take them off the show.
So that's firsthand to where, okay, now and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, bro. You went through it in the university. I'm gonna tell you where I went through it at. I was quote unquote a Christian rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was rapping, and Coop the Beat Man, he could attest to this. I'm gonna give you two instances. One, Coop was there with me. I got a song called Will a Man Rob God? I rapped the song a cappella. In the first verse, I'm talking about how people giving to the church to get money. Right. In the second verse, I'm talking about how the pastor taking your money when really looking at the tithes and offerings. Tithing, according to the Bible, people go get mad even when I say it now, but tithing, according to the Bible, was up under the old law, which is bondage. And according to Hebrews, Jesus Christ, it's in the Bible, Hebrews chapter 7, it talks about doing away with the tithe. Mm-hmm. So I'm rapping the song a cappella. This preacher, we was at like a men's ministry. I'm doing a cappella. He said, stop. He go off like he ready to fight.
For real?
Yeah, he ready to fight. So I'm like, bro, check this out, man. I ain't gonna apologize for the truth. Now you might not want to accept this, but it is.
Man, I ain't do you like that, did you?
Ask Coop. Coop was with me, man. Coop was with me. Dude was hot, man. I never forget that, man. He was hot, man. Yeah. Another instance, right? I'm gonna give you two, and if that guy see it, he'll know who I'm talking about. And this guy, he definitely gonna know. Okay, I was going to this church. I ain't gonna call the church name. Mm-hmm. So I put out there in the song how this pastor was acting. Mm-hmm. And I asked the pastor, because I was a quote unquote member. I asked the pastor, hey, I'm going to go on and say what I asked him. I sent him an email because I tried to have a meeting with him, couldn't meet with him. So I said, hey, being that God hates pride, why is your face on everything on everything concerning the church that you oversee? Because this is supposed to be God's church.
Right.
So I sent him an email directly since I couldn't meet with him. He sent somebody else to me. And after that, he went around to several pastors who know me. Hey, don't deal with him. Hey, don't deal with him.
Real?
Yeah. So they were like, nah, keep him over there. And what's crazy, I'm going to tell you what's crazy. Before I did that, and the youth pastor came to me like a month or two before, because they had an in with Universal Records. Mm-hmm. He said, "Hey, bro, if you play ball, man, you could get this deal." I said, "Play ball, man. Just chill, just keep it simple. Rap about the basics, and you go get your money." I said, "Hey, bro."
Uh,
I,
oh shit.
I said, "Hey, bro."
My bad. My bad.
Oh, you good?
Bad.
I said, "Bro, I'd rather be broke. I'd rather go back to the Pride, West Wayne, before I just compromise myself. I might well sell my soul if I know the truth, and I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna be cool, man. I'm gonna play the game." Yeah, so that what happened to me, man.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, it's real. It's real out here, for real.
Yeah, so like you gonna run in the instant, like the route you taking is uncharted, and
Mm-hmm.
and most guys like they want to hear about the dope, especially you being able to rap the way you can rap. Like your career is on the trajectory of a ball and G if you don't play the game, and you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. I know
Like,
exactly what you're saying.
you will have regional success, but if you play the game, if you and see, a lot of people don't understand. Your J. Cole's, your Kendrick Lamar's,
They playing the game.
I'm gonna say, yeah, they playing the game. But once, like, if Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole never played the game, they wouldn't have made it out their region. Because once you can rap and you got the skill set like you, Kendrick, and J. Cole, they can't stop you from bubbling in that region at all. Because it's destined. But them having different platforms and the powers to be, hey, KB, hey man, KB, don't. I guarantee you, when you was at that university, they call other universities. Hey, KB
Oh
Bryant,
yeah.
KB
Oh yeah.
Bryant. Hey, don't let.
Yeah.
No, cause he got that line now. Now you know you trying to get paid off student loans. So
Mm-hmm.
KB Bryant telling them, KB Bryant putting them over on game. Hey, you gonna have to spend your whole life paying on student loans.
Yeah.
And just like I be telling people, even about mortgages. Hey man, go get you a mortgage, man. Go buy you a big old house. Woo woo. I said, all right, check this out. Let's break this down. Do you know what mortgage mean? No, man, what it mean? I say mortgage means death contract.
You gonna be paying on the 30 years?
To you, I'm 30, finna be 38. If I get a mortgage today, I'll be 68 if I pay it off on time.
That's on time. That's like if you make all the payments on time.
Exactly. I'll be 68 years old. And then check this out. Check the game out. Even if I pay it off on time, say I'm 72 and I can't pay my taxes. Let me get that house up at you.
Mm-hmm.
So I done spent 30
years. And now you right back where you started.
It's a cold game, man.
Man, it's a cold game, man. Cold game.
Like have you encountered like different artists? Cause I've encountered this too. Have you like I've worked with artists and they'll seem like we cool, but backdooring, like, and what I call it backdooring, they'll be like, nah, like I've had artists, they think I don't know it, but when they hear this, they gonna know I know. I've had artists because of my message, like mess up my sound, or
man, who you telling, man? I go through that now. I go through that now.
Like I was on the show, I never forget it. Dude rap before me, his mic, we using the same mic. His mic fine. So I know my music good. I rap, it keep messing up, you get short and all this. The next dude after me rap.
He good.
I'm like, Okay, so I see what y'all doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ran into that too. I ran into them same problems with engineers, promoters. Yeah, same exact thing.
So how do you stay humble in that regard? Like knowing that you ain't even made it yet and they trying to undercut you even at this level.
Man, that just let me know that I'm doing something right. That's all that tell me. Like I'm doing something right. So that don't make me just want to push and go harder. I'm like, man, you hating on me at this level? Like I'm still at the local level. Well, I probably progressed a little further than that. But you hating on me at this level? Oh, I can just imagine what it'd be like if I'm up 4 or 5 more notches. Man, that just inspired me. I was just like, man, you can try to mess me up all you want to. I'm still gonna do me regardless. So man, I ain't kind of that. I just laugh. I just laugh it off. But I don't never let them folks see me sweat. I don't never let them see me sweat. It just made me want to just level up even more. And that's what I do every single time when I run into incidents like that.
Man, it's crazy. Like people don't understand. Like they hear big time artists talk about it.
Nah, local artists go through that too. Local artists go through that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just be tripping like and see I can sympathize because it's a lot of stuff like even with your numbers, I be like, man, like the soul food.
Mm-hmm.
You got a song called Soul Food. And I was like, bro, ain't no way this shouldn't be out of here. But then I thought about it. I said, hold up. Let's be real. What the content, what he talking about, they ain't ready for that here.
No, I ain't ready for that.
So I'm like, I hear this song. I ain't gonna certain songs. I'll be like, man, he ain't talking about nothing. And he got 30, 40,000 views.
Yeah.
Then I hear your song. I said, oh, dude, come, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, it ain't adding up. But then I'm like, okay. But I also know a lot of these dudes, I'm gonna put people up on game. A lot of these dudes will go and buy views.
Oh yeah, man. That's at an all-time high. People buy followers, people buy likes, people do all that. But I don't know, man. I really just kind of see that selling out in a way.
It is.
It's selling out because man, I was just talking about this earlier today. I was talking to Benzino. This was like 4 years ago. My first time when I was in Austin, Texas. And he was just trying to give me some little insight. I was talking to him maybe about 15 minutes. And he was saying, like, okay, he was like, pull up your Instagram. And at the time, man, I probably only had about 1,700 followers at the time. And he was like, just because of your numbers, people ain't even gonna pay attention to it. people are not gonna pay attention to it. And he was like, man, when people click on your page, they look and see how many followers you got, and they might click on the post and see like where your engagement at. But man, the same day, that's when I did the competition, the showcase in Austin, Texas, that I won. Now, man, I'm competing with people who've been on Empire. This is a big showcase, like with people from all over the country, and I win. So that goes to show me it don't really matter about the numbers.
It don't.
Like once you get your talent in front of people and they actually see what you can do, that's gonna stick with them more. So I'm competing with somebody who got over 100,000 followers on there, and then they let someone with 1,700 followers win. But Benzino just telling me like they just looking at your numbers, but that's only if they make it past the numbers and actually check you out and see and see the talent that you have. But they don't make it. They don't even make it that far because they just want to see the numbers. They're like, okay, his numbers decent, so I'm gonna check out his music. Oh, his numbers not decent, so I'm not even gonna pay it no mind. That's just reality, man.
So based on that, who is that? Who is that? Was that your guy that say men lie, men lie, women lie, numbers don't?
Numbers don't to an extent.
But if I'm inflating my numbers, they lying.
Yeah. That's why I say to an extent. Numbers don't lie, but if you inflating them numbers, of course they're gonna tell a lie. They're gonna tell a lie.
Man,
I told myself, man, I will never buy a like. I will never buy followers. I will never buy none of that. If I can't do it the organic way, the authentic way, I'm just not gonna do it. I don't care if it take me 10 years to get to where I'm going, 15 years, 5 years, or whatever. If I can't do it the organic way, I just rather not do it.
like, okay, let me ask you this. Like, hey, did you see what Lil Mo posted about Lil Rhea and the Lil Rhea song and
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that.
What's your thoughts on it?
Man, that's what big artists do, man. They that's what they do, man. That's how they stay relevant. Like I truly believe that happened. Like they you put stuff on YouTube and it's not copywritten. So that's the first mistake where we go wrong. So yeah, man, you think these big artists don't be knowing about the local rappers and all that, man? They jacking whole flows and everything just for them to stay relevant. They always looking for that fresh sound. But just because you don't got the following or you don't got your stuff copyrighted, man, that's highway robbery, man. They're taking your whole flow and ain't nothing you can do about it. It ain't nothing you can do about it. So that's why they say, man, learn the business first and then do the rap. Well, just have some knowledge of the business. But yeah, that's what go on. Man, it was a few years ago. It was a girl. I can't remember her name, but she went viral on a video she posted. It was like to stop the violence. It's probably like 2015, maybe 16 or something like that. But it was a girl all the way in like Milwaukee, somewhere up north. She jacked the whole song and went super viral off of it. Oh, it was a white
word
thing.
Word for word.
Word for word. Word for word. So that just let you know, man, people really do be watching. And that's why they say, man, you really have to have your stuff together business-wise, man, because not just to make money for them, but protect your art, man, because people will run out with it and don't think nothing else about it. Then that's why you like, man, so, man, look like he stole my flow on the music. He probably did on YouTube, looking at your videos, man, learning your rhyme patterns and everything. Man, don't be surprised, man. These folks will do anything to stay relevant. Just like you were saying a little earlier, people do anything to stay relevant. Man, they'll get on YouTube and YouTube everything to see what's the freshest flow or the latest trend that's probably making little waves, but ain't just like it ain't just really pop yet. Yeah, they on all that.
Man, I never forget years ago. You remember the song "Move" by Ludacris?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you the story behind that. It was a group out of Alabama. I never forget this. They actually came to the UTC arena and they performed. And they song, I still remember it. I'm gonna bleep out the cussing, but it was like, move, get out the way, get out the way. So the song, they rocked the whole arena. Next thing I know, I hear
Ludacris.
Yeah, move, get out the way. I said, hold up. That's them boys from Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they switched it up just a little bit, but I was like, bro, they done jacked them. And they was with Lil Jon at the time. The little dudes were with Lil Jon. They came to Chattanooga. They performed it at the UTC Arena. They rocked it. I ain't hear no more from them. Then next thing I know, I hear Ludacris. I said, oh, they got them.
Yeah, that's what they on. Man.
Politics, man. Politics.
So that's what I tell anybody else that's pursuing music. Like, you don't have to know like it's good to know the ins and outs, but just know the basics. Like, know how to know how much it costs to get your music copywritten. Know how to register your music properly, man, because that's gonna save you in the long run if you run into cases like that where artists bite you, and that way you can take them to court and get a check if it do happen. But if you don't have knowledge of none of that, man, that's a lost cause. You help them out. You help them make millions.
Cause when I seen that the post, I was like, cause I'm always checking for stuff. I seen that, I was like, man, they jacked his whole flow and everything.
Yeah, they on all that.
So what I noticed though, the producer, whoever produced the track, they couldn't have had their business together either.
No, of course they didn't.
I was like, man,
I bet, man, this, and I say this to you, man, because stuff like that, man, that made me be more business minded. So just like I don't send songs over email. Like if somebody want to listen to my music, you have to sit in there with me and listen to it. I'm not sending anything over email where my songs can just be out in the air anywhere. So
that's
I'm like,
smart. Say that again for up and coming artists. Please tell them that again.
like, do not send none of your music over email. When your music drop, then that's when people can listen. Unless you like send the DJs, or unless you send the DJs, people just get the music when your music is released. Don't be sending your songs over email, and just let your music be in thin air. Cause then that's how your music be floating around, and that's how that put you in high risk of your music being jacked or people stealing your stuff. So don't send your music, don't send no music over emails. I do not do that. No, you ask me that, I'm gonna say no. If you want to sit here and listen to music, you got to meet up with me. Then we gonna sit in the room and listen to it together. Nah, man, I done have plenty of people. Man, send me some music. Send me some music. I send you some release music. I send you release music that's already been paperwork. But if it's unreleased, nah, you ain't. Nope.
I'm gonna ask you this. We ain't got to talk about the person. How you feel about producers sending the same track to people?
Man, I really just feel like, man, that's the way to make money. I mean, why make all those beats if you can just lease and you have people leasing the same beats? I mean, if you have why make tons of beats if you can just get people to lease the same beat and you still just make the crazy amount of money? I mean, I just see that's a way for people to eat, really. I mean, so I ain't really messed up with it, but it just kind of like but they fall more on a rapper though. Like, you really have to get like the exclusive lease, or you just got to get full rights of the beat if you just really just trying to do something with it. But if you just know someone who ain't really just that serious and just trying to rap over some beats, then cool, man. Don't stop there. Make that money. And they gotta make the money somehow, some way, somehow.
Man, it's a cold game. It's a
Man, it's a
cold.
cold game, man. That's a cold game. That's why you man, with this music, man, you really can't really take stuff to heart. You just gotta wear your heart on the sleeve with it and just roll with the punches. Because once you start taking stuff personal, it's just gonna go downhill from now. Like, you have to expect stuff to go wrong, so it won't be such a surprise when it do happen. But you just have to be prepared for it.
All right,
And give yourself the knowledge.
all right. Let's shift gears for a minute. Like, okay, we talked about the police earlier and how they benefit off the gangs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what have you paid attention to people just benefiting off of people's trauma anyway?
As you mean, like, just in people?
Yeah,
People
like
benefiting off.
other people's trauma.
You just talking about people just getting likes and views or
Nah,
making money off other people downfalls.
yeah, like check this out. Like people who on drugs, they got rehab. If you
Uh-huh.
uh if you got a disability instead of your family, you come over here with us and we gonna make money out for you. If
Mm-hmm.
if if the government look at it, we gonna call your mother or your father unfit so we can put you in the system and we can get money
Mm-hmm.
out for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, man, I'm gonna say this. Like, I've worked at a group home. I've seen the adult side and I've seen the adolescent side. What they do is, and I used to tell dudes this, and I'm pretty sure they used to get hot at me. The group home did. I
Mm-hmm.
used to tell dudes, "Hey, bro, you know they setting you up for failure." They be like, "Bro, what you mean?" I said, "Listen, bro, they give you all this stuff that you never had.
Mm-hmm.
Then they don't teach you nothing. You go out and you have a baby or stuff like that. You don't know how to deal with life, so you gonna lose your baby just like your mama or your father lost you."
Lost you. Yeah. So it's that same cycle. It's just that repeated cycle all over again. Generational curses. That's exactly what that is.
Man, no lie, bro. Listen, I was working at a group home. I worked there for, I want to say about 5 years. We had maybe two dudes, no lie, maybe two dudes graduate high school in
Mm-hmm.
5 years. I'm talking about that stuff. We had different people. I think they was like a 6 month program, but we had three dudes. Two of them actually graduated high school, and one of them got his GED. We had three dudes, but the number of guys who went to jail, who got babies, who like, I'm like, or sometimes both.
Mm-hmm.
It was outrageous. And we used to have meetings, and I would ask them, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up with the structure? We need to be teaching these young men." They say structure. Nah, this.
They basically telling you shut up, go sit over there. Like you talking too much.
So at that time, I'm like, okay, so y'all don't give a damn about these dudes. This about a bag.
Man, this about a bag. That's all that is. It's about a bag. Like if we fix the solution, you fix the problem, but then the money go away, and we can't have it. So why
But
teach? Why teach? Why teach it if it's just going if it's not gonna make us profit? I mean, why why get them the knowledge? Why get them the knowledge and teach it to them if it's just gonna take money out of our pocket? No point. I mean, because people care about money, then they care about humans. So,
but what's crazy is, like, why do you think they scared of the games? Cause they scared of the games, but why you think they scared of them?
because the guy is not gonna play with them. Guys, them. Some of the, well, I can't even say all of them, but some of them don't have nothing to live for. So they don't care if they live or die. So if they don't care if they live or die, they don't care if you going. They don't care if you live or die. So you, man, I don't know, man. I don't really know why they scared of the gang bangers, because they really not the ones out to hurt. They not hurting the ones. We'll hurt ourselves before we hurt other people.
True. I'm gonna tell you why I think they scared of them, and you tell me, do it make sense or not?
Okay.
All right. Now, in the gang, they have really no say so of what go on in the gang for the most part, right?
Nope, not at all.
So just say we got a thinker in the gangs. Say the thinker becomes the OG.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got a whole mob of people, a whole clique of people who follow this one dude who is sharp. So they look at it like, okay, that could change a whole nation.
Mm-hmm.
So they like
it only take one. It only take one person with influence.
But see, they know. Think about this. They don't care if you rowdy. If the shooter, the OG, they ain't really tripping on that.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do, I ain't gonna say his name because they did it to a brother in this city out of respect to his family. God rest his soul. But what they do, if they know you intelligent and you a high-ranking gang member, they'll place a paper trail on you. And what I mean by a paper trail is they'll write an article on you and keep writing articles on you to make you seem. They'll vilify you, make you the villain. Yeah. So what they do is they write in a timeline for, okay, if you just so happen to die, it's justified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we gonna make it seem like this is how you move, even if you don't move like that.
All right.
So what they do is they say it's crazy. And I'm gonna go on and say it because I've been wanting to say this for a minute. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, all the leaders that they tell us about, they give them to us.
Mm-hmm.
So they control them. It's called control opposition. If y'all don't believe me, look it up. Control opposition. What they do is when we got a dude in the Crips who got 100 or 200 people behind him, and he got a clear thought process, he can really be,
man. He can really shake something up,
and he can really be what you thought this dude we gave you was.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they have agents, government agents, posing as black leaders. And think about this. My name Roland McClendon. If I come to you as Ronald Smith, I'm faking the font, right?
Right.
The majority of our leaders come to us under a false pretense.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, okay, Tupac Shakur, they consider him a leader to the hip hop community in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac Shakur wasn't his real name.
Mm-mm.
So we know him as Tupac. You follow where I'm going?
Man, I'm trying to think. What's this?
Let me tell you his real name.
It start with it. Don't it start? Man, I know this. I just can't think of it.
His name is, I think it's Lassane Parrish Crooks. That was his birth name.
Crooks, yeah.
Martin Luther King. What's this? This the 16th? Yesterday was quote unquote Martin Luther King's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Most people do not know that Martin Luther King's real name is Michael. His name was Michael King, not Martin Luther.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
So if your name Michael and they telling me your name Martin Luther,
yeah,
what's going on? And it just so happened he's the only black man in the history of America who have a quote unquote holiday.
Right.
And y'all and we can't peep that. Malcolm X. His real name was Malcolm Little.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you coming to us under the pretense of Malcolm X? See, if they teaching it to us in school,
they not teaching us the real in school. They're teaching us what they want us to know.
The programming.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's why, think about this. That's why they teach. That's why even in college they teach a class on Tupac.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up. Why out of all why y'all pick him? So I want to go beyond. I want to go behind the veil and say, okay, it's something to this dude, like Dick Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know this, but I'm gonna put it out there. Dick Gregory was in the military from age 18 to the day he died. And people will say, why would an 80-something-year-old man still be in the military? Because he was an agent of misinformation. It's deep.
Oh, yeah, that's deep.
Because think about it. He had your ear. He got your ear. So and people listening to him, man, Dick Gregory cold, man. And then he calling out the other agents and people don't even know him. All right, I'm a vegan, right? I put it out there, I'm a vegan. Most people, guess who they talk about? Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi, blah, 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 Dr. Sebi. I say, hey, man, check this out. This is me. Do you know Dr. Sebi's real name? No. I thought it was Sebi. Why are they telling me his name Sebi when his real name is Alfonso Bowman? So, Dean, this guy is a health expert from what they telling us.
Right.
Then he dies of pneumonia or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could cure cancer, you could cure AIDS, but you die of pneumonia?
Pneumonia? Nah. They don't even add up, man.
But see, that's why I'm trying to change the direction of the show, because it's like I be hearing all this and I be like, hey, bro, like y'all gotta quit playing with us, bro. Like y'all wanna talk. Like we so caught up in Democrat and Republican, who running this race, who running that race. And I tell people who I really got mutual respect for, I tell them behind the scenes, I be like, all right, check this out. This is what it is. Okay, you running for political office? All right. Bro, if you really real, or sis, if you really real, you ain't gonna get there. I've told people this. I'm not gonna say who, but they'll know. I say, I applaud what you're doing. I see what you're doing. But if you bad for business, they don't want you in there.
And it ain't gonna let you in.
So this what it let me know. And I'm gonna say this on the Deprogram show. And I plan to drop this before the election come out. All the main elections and even your local elections. If you get elected, that shows them you're willing to play ball. And I posted something yesterday. I say, why do we always have an election, but not a selection before the election? I'm a citizen. You a citizen. We don't never say, hey, this who we want. You feel me? How many times have the people say, hey, this who we want to run for governor, this who we want to run for mayor, this who we want to run for president? These are our candidates. When do we do that? They just
only give us the opportunity to.
So I'm like, I might not even want him. I might know my homeboy in the hood, and I might know an activist, a real activist, boots on the ground, who I might not want them to be a city councilman. I might feel they better suited to be the mayor.
Right.
But okay, now this is the election. And then I'm like, nah, I can't get with that. And this is a problem I have with people. We can't, like, I ask people this all the time. If you invent a game, can I beat you at a game you invented? But I've had people tell me, I don't correct them, but I had people tell me, yeah, because you got to play by the same rules.
No, you don't. If you made the game up, you know all the loops. You know all the
So hold on, Say
yeah.
that again.
Yeah. If you know the game, you created it. You know the ins and outs. You know more about more about it than anybody.
So I'm glad
If you created it, nobody gonna be able to beat you at your own game.
I'm glad you said that. Cause I be looking, I be like, cause I'm like, bruh, ain't no way. I'm not gonna tell you the loophole. I might tell you the base,
The base. I tell you a little bit to make you think you're doing something, or make you think you can figure it out. But I ain't gonna give you all the game. Man, the game is to be sold, not to be told.
So this be my question with us. We've been, according to the government, we 3/5 of a human being. You feel me?
Mhm.
You get qualified immunity when you kill one of us.
Right?
So why are we steady wanting to play their game? This what I just can't understand it, bro. Like this. I mean, you help me out. Maybe you know something I don't know. Why do we want to play their game?
Because they just make you think like you getting a little further along, but then boom, they just knock you back to square one. Then the next person they get a little further along, then boom, you get not back to the same spot. Then again and again, it's a complete it's a repeated cycle, just all over again. Because it's their game. So if the game wasn't created for us, how can we win?
I just be asking people that.
The only way to win is to not play the game with them.
I've even brought people on and I asked them this. People who I consider smart. I say, hey, bro. I say, hey, check this out. How can your name Brown, say I want to apply for Brown's Entertainment or whatever your business is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I apply for Brown Entertainment going in to change how Brown Entertainment does business? I mean, you feel me?
I feel you.
It's your company. You might have your company established for hundreds of years. So I'm going to come in, an employee tell, hey, Mr. Brown, I know this Brown Entertainment, but I'm going to tell you.
But look, we going to do it this way. I think, man, I'm going to tell you, get out of my face. Get out of my face, Stanley. You fired.
And see, that's what people don't understand about these elections. If I'm campaigning for a job. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's a job.
That's all it is.
And if I'm getting paid by Mr. Brown, I got to do what Mr. Brown tell me to do, right?
Right. Absolutely right.
But they have us thinking, no, we can change things.
Man, that's... Oof.
I mean, I just be like, am I the only person who get this?
Nah, you're not the only person who get it. The only way to win is to not play the game with them.
Because I look at it like this. If we govern ourselves, like you got your household, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you say go in your household.
Right.
I can't come to your house and say, hey, Mr. Brown, this is how we going to do it in your house.
Nah, not even gonna allow that.
But why do I tell people, no matter who the
they make us think that we have a chance.
Man.
Yeah. Change can be done, but they're not doing anything to help us change because they don't want to, because it's their game. And they're not gonna change that for nobody, especially not for us.
But why do it seem like our activists and our quote unquote leaders, why are they pushing they be telling us, hey, bro, if we get in there, we can start to make a change. I be like, bro, you can't be this smart and this dumb at the same time. That's what I be like. A lot of times I keep my peace out of respect for the individual, but I'm like, bro, you can't be this smart and this dumb at the same time.
I mean, I just say, man, it do help when you have power in numbers.
I mean, I agree with you on that. That's why they scatter the games. Back to my earlier point.
Mm-hmm. So I do believe if it's enough people voicing their voice to be heard and their opinions to be heard, it can be if it's all done as a collective. But when you only got a few people sticking their neck out for us, and there ain't nobody backing them, that's what we feel at, because we don't have the power in numbers.
But it seemed like to me, this, you correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like the people that we get behind always pulling us back to the system.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, do you know that you really just going down here to sell us out? You might think you mean well, but you going back down here to sell us out, bro.
Because man, they gotta compromise something. You ain't just getting in just off what you on what you stand for. You gotta compromise something.
That's why I be like, I applaud people who say they're doing the right thing, but that's why I tell them off the record, especially folks like, hey, you know I tell them, people I got a relation, hey, you know they ain't finna if they let you in, I hope they let you in so you can prove me wrong. But I look at it, if they let you in, it's something you doing that you ain't telling. That's how I look at it. And one thing I'm finna stop doing, I'm finna just start, when I do this show, they don't watch me like that no way. So the people who do, they finna start getting the pure uncut truth from me. Because a lot of times I be like, I interview somebody and I be like, man, you tripping. But I hold my peace. I be like, because I done went back and watched a few of the interviews and I be like, I seen it in my face when they say certain stuff. And I be like, man, okay.
Yeah.
Cause
that's all you can do, man. You just got to keep peace for not their sake, but for your sake.
Cause man, I know you go through it like that's, to be honest, bro, that's one of the reasons why I quit. I was like, man, y'all got that, man. I be invested in my family, bro, cause y'all ain't listening to what I'm saying. No way. I'm too old to have the energy I had when I was younger. So let me school somebody some other kind of way.
Mm-hmm. And man, every emotion you went through is the same emotions that I'm going through. Like the same emotions you went through is the same emotions I'm going through. But I think what keep me going is just knowing I'm not trying to impress the masses. So that's what I'm trying to go individual with the individual. Like just knowing that I can help a few people, like, hey, I decided to do this because you spoke about this in your music, or I decided I wanted to make it right with my family, make it right with my father, make it right with my mom, make the do anything, pursue their passion. That's what keep me going with it. It ain't necessarily to please the masses, because it's not about that, because you can please the masses, but that can be gone tomorrow. So my focus ain't on the masses, it's just on the individuals that I come in contact with in life, and saying and leaving that everlasting impact to say, like, hey, when I talk to KB, I got this information from him and I feel inspired for me to go do this. So that be my whole purpose in a way that I want my legacy to be, like, once I leave.
I mean, with that being said, you actually applying a principle that's right in the Bible. Go therefore and make disciples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's all about, man. It's about the legacy that you leave, the impression that you leave on people. People not gonna remember the cars you drove, the money that you had. People gonna remember what you was as a person and how did you treat people when you was here. That's what they gonna remember.
Yeah. Because everybody, the people you've lost, and people I've lost, that's what we do remember about them. Like, we don't remember about you popping those bottles. We might remember.
We don't care about none of that. We just care about how they was as a person. Or it's the same thing that I lost. I mean, losing my best friend and just seeing how the media tried to portray him. But this is somebody that I've known for almost 20 years. So I know the person that he is. I knew the man that he was. I knew the man that he was striving to be. But the media just portray him just as this fucked up ass person. So man, it's really all about the legacy that you leave. That's really what it's all about.
So not to get too much into it, like the reason they did that, it's like if I kill you and I control the media, of course it's your fault.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I did. I did this the other day. Now I ain't never meet JV, but I read. So I was talking to the white dude at my job, and we was talking about the case because we were just talking about police brutality. So we actually went and pulled up the article, one of the articles that was written, and and he actually pulled up the video. So in the article, they was like, I think they said he came out the house, had they tried to say in the article he had a gun and a knife or a sword at the same time. So the guy pulled up the video. In the initial recording of the video, he was talking to the police. They was having a conversation. And then the video stopped. I said, whoa. I told you, I said, whoa. What happened between that? Because ain't no, if me and you talking and the video stopped and then I'm irate, something had to happen between that time and that time.
Come on now.
And I told her, I was like, I said, so you see, according to this video, that this article is a lie. He was like, yeah. He was like, bro, he said, and I that was my first time even just looking at the video, and I read the article, and I was like, but I know how they get down. So when I read it, I was like, bro, tell me, do this make sense to you? And they do it. They've done it. They've done it to everybody I've named in this song. They did it to JV. They did it to Kevin McCullough. They did it to Sambino. My thing is this. Even if I'm a killer, you've let other killers have their due process.
Right.
Dude killed 9 people in the church.
And then he walked away scotch. He actually got a pat on the back and took to McDonald's.
They arrested him and took him in. My thing is this. That man didn't kill nobody. You can't tell. It ain't on record. Bad as y'all want to say this brother was, he ain't kill nobody. So why y'all process? And even if, you got a taser, you ain't have to shoot him. My thing is this. That just goes back to what we talked about earlier. We don't even look at you as a human being. So we ain't gonna deal with you how we would deal with somebody we consider an equal.
Man. Cool. When dude pulled up, that was his intentions on killing him. When he pulled up.
Cause I'm like,
his intention. That was his intention. He had intentions on taking them out. He wasn't even there with the rest of them. He pulled up after them. Then as soon as he get out the car, he shoot for his head.
I mean, it's crazy, but like that's why I be telling people. I think I talked about this on the interview I did with Marie Mott. I said, why do we keep watching this, bro? Like we keep being vilified by the news, by the TV, and we keep going about a newspaper. We keep watching the news station, and I'm like, bro, do we? It's some in us that love to be treated unfairly. Then we don't know no other way to be treated. We used to that. Then you have brothers like yourself who come with a positive message. We'll rather go listen to 2 Chainz talk about lean and syrup and all this, and we'll rather listen to NWA and give them a legacy, and we'll rather no disrespect, but we'll rather honor Nipsey Hussle for being a crib and stuff like that. Than rather give the man who really trying to pour his heart to the people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, brother. That's
It's
why
a dirty world. It's a dirty world, man. It's a dirty world.
That's why I be like. That's why I try to
and
go ahead.
That right there, man. That can get discouraging, man, because you like, man, I'm pouring all my energy into this, but it just feel like ain't nobody hearing what I'm saying. But you really can't really look at it like that, man. You can't look at it as pleasing the masses, because if you look at it like that, man, you're gonna feel and be disappointed every single time. So they go back to say, man, just all about the legacy that you leave, the impact that you leave. I know I probably won't get my flowers while I'm here, but the day that I leave, I know it's some people coming to the front to say how I helped them and how I helped them overcome the obstacles that they had in life. But I don't know, man. My focus ain't on that, man. Like the masses. So that's what keep me in it.
But see, that's how you do get your flowers, though. That's why when I reach out to you, hey, bro, keep doing what you're doing.
And you do.
I salute what you're doing. Even if we don't rap every day, hey, bro, keep doing your thing, because once you do it for the individual, once the individual come, them your flowers right there. That's say, okay, let me go impact another life.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna lie, bro, it do get discouraging.
It do, man. It gets discouraging. I'm like, man, I don't have to do this. I don't even have to waste my time even doing this. Man, I'm like, man, I can go do something else and make tons as much money as I'm doing right now. But I'm like, what am I in it for? I'm only being disappointed if I'm in it for the money and the fame. I don't care about the money and the fame.
And that's what's gonna keep you going. Like, that's one of the reasons why I started the show back up, because I ain't gonna lie, one time I was like, I would look for the numbers, then I was like, bro, let me do me.
Man, just do you.
If only 5 people watch, but they get all of me, I'm cool.
It's not about the likes, it's not about the followers, it's about the engagement.
And see what ends up happening due to social media, we'll get off track and you be like, oh, with the numbers. So I be like, I had to go back and be like, man, check this out. Let me get this to the world. I know the city I'm in. I know how the politics operate. Let me at least put it out there to the world. The people who mess with me, they gonna mess with me whether I'm on Facebook, whether I'm on YouTube.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so because I've had people say, hey, bro, why your video so long? Blah, 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 blah. I say, hey, bro, check this out. This is the Deprogram show. This is what this is. This ain't your regular scheduled programming. So me, I've been deprogrammed so I can listen to KB's whole album. I don't have to listen to just one verse. I could go and dive deep. I can listen to a whole lecture. That's me. For the people who've been deprogrammed, you'll watch it.
Right. Exactly.
But if you program, oh man, just give me a 2-minute clip. You might miss the whole gem or the whole.
Right. It's just like, man, that go to say like, okay, I was talking to somebody about this a little while ago, and I was saying like some artists, they do well with singles, but then it's other artists who do well with a body of work. Like some artists can come out, they can just make them singles and take off like that. But then there's other ones who do great in about their work because one song can't really capture like they whole sound. So with a whole body of work, it sound more complete. So that really goes to say it's different ways of doing things, really. I mean, oh man, I don't really know what I was trying to say on that.
I mean, I get totally what you're saying. Like, I'm gonna give you an example of what you're saying. Like your Plies, or he's a single artist.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, Plies would be a single artist. But if you listen to a UGK or you listen to KB Brown, those are your artists who's going to give. You got to have their whole body of work to
Right.
to appreciate understanding. I need the story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
To appreciate Mr. Brown, I need a story to tell too.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear the whole collective. Like I can't. What it is you too deep for me to just read one page and get the whole man.
Right. Some people just gotta dive deeper on and get a deeper or more better understanding of it.
Man, it's crazy,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Man, so we could talk about it all day, man. But
I got all the time in the world.
so what you? I checked it out. I'm gonna chop it up. So like I'm gonna ask you this, and if you don't want to talk about it, we'll edit it. Like, let's see, children. Like, do you have any aspiration to have children?
Yeah, of course I am. That's all I really ever wanted. Growing up was to have children. I mean, I have children. I just don't have any biological children.
I got you. So they
So
yours.
yeah, I mean, I'm basically been with them since little babies, pretty much.
Yeah. So them boys or girls.
Boys, two boys.
So you got two sons, and you
Mm-hmm.
so so I guess you showing them, and see that comes from you. Like when you have a father figure, you have a mother who
Mm-hmm.
who working as a unit. That makes you
Mm-hmm.
want to have children.
Right. And that's what I wanted early on. So I mean, I haven't been blessed with to have a kid of my own, but with those two, I mean, I basically pretty much got what I need.
So you
So
good.
yeah, I'm good.
So how do like? Cause I go through that dynamic too. How has that dynamic been for you being a father, not biologically, but you still a father? What's that? What's KB the father like?
Man, I just basically just being who I wanted, being who I wanted to be when I mean being the person that I wanted to be when I was coming up, like the father figure that I wanted. So I ain't really like strict. It's just like they wrong, I tell them they wrong. And pretty much I just let them experience stuff on their own because the best teacher is experience. So without experience, you ain't really gonna know too much. It ain't me just standing over their shoulder every 5 minutes telling them to do this and do that. They really not gonna pay attention to that. I mean, they got to get out there and actually experience life. And then once they mess up, okay, I say, okay, so now you messed up right there. So what do you do to correct that? So that's the part I play. Just okay, you made that mistake. Don't hold your head down about it. So what you gonna do to make up for that? So it's just all about just not necessarily being an enforcer, but just being that voice of reason, be there to pick them up like when they fall, or they just need someone to talk to and vent to.
So how do they take to that?
I mean, I'm pretty much. I mean, I say everything good. I mean, they respect me and do everything that I ask of them if I ask them to do something. So I think it's pretty much cool for the most part.
Yeah, cause I went
I
through that. Go ahead, my bad.
I think what really, man, they really don't really respect it till they get of age, really. You going through the growing pains, you really ain't really trying to listen to what nobody say. Well, not truly trying to listen because you ain't experienced life. So it's kind of like, okay, just know like if you need me, I'm there. That's what I make sure that they know. Like if y'all need me, I'm here.
So I'm gonna go a little deeper. Is marriage in the future for KB Brown?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cause I know if you got two sons, they gotta have a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So you say marriage in the future for KB Brown. So what KB Brown the husband gonna consist of?
Man, just being up about it and just being there and just whatever she can't do, just knowing I can pick up that slack. Give her honesty, respect, loyalty, and just be the one that she can always count on. And just with that, man, I just really have to keep it simple. I don't really want to complicate it more than that. I just need to have the bases covered, really.
All right, I'm gonna go into this. This kind of this goes along. I'm finna tie it back in.
Mm-hmm.
So you being an introvert, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
call in your album.
All right.
How do you how do you deal in a relationship being an introvert? Because I know that could be hard.
Yeah, it's hard. You just have to finding that spot, knowing you have to compromise and sharing your sharing your space with someone else. I mean, it's a challenge, but if you really want to make that work, you just really have to compromise with it.
So what has that shown you being an introvert? Because as an introvert, we closed off.
Mm-hmm.
So opening up, what has that shown you about yourself?
And just showing like I can't shut down just because I'm mad. I mean, communication should be all the way across the board, whether if I'm mad or not, or if I disagree with something, it should always be that line of communication. I mean, that line of communication is open, and then show me like I can't be selfish. Like if you taking on responsibilities for others, like you really have to have that open mind and able and willing to communicate that and be a unit, really.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie, man. Me being, let me see, I just celebrated 7 years of marriage, and
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Congratulations, brother.
I'm, I know I know I could be rough, bro. Like me being, cause I get the way I am. I work a lot, and I could zone out. Like I can really be by myself, and I had to learn. Hold up, bro. It's deeper than just you.
Yeah, it's deeper than that's why I say, man, it just that come with learning how to compromise and knowing it's just not about you.
And
But you
what
really you really have to grasp that concept though. Because it's easy to say it, but to actually do it is just two complete different things.
What's crazy though? What really taught me? I have a I have a daughter. She'll be 15 Tuesday. My daughter, she's an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to, being her father, I have to open that door. I have to say, "Hey, let me in here. Let's deal with this," because
Right.
she'll close the door and she'll be like, "I don't really want to talk, Dad." I'll be like, "Hey, I feel what you're saying, but you going through stuff that you don't really even know.
Right.
Let me help guide you. I know how you feeling. You might not even understand because half of me is in you. So I know you, and I'm studying you. She don't really like to talk on the phone. I don't really like talking on the phone. So I have to, all right, man, my daughter, because we don't live in the same house. So my daughter, I got to reach out. Hey, let me holler at you. I'm on my way to get you. Let's talk. So that right there showed me a lot, man. And children and marriage or relationships, when you really want it, it'll show you who you really are, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right. Right. Right.
Cause I know me, I be like, bruh, sometimes,
it's not for the weak.
oh no, cause I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. Sometimes I be like, bruh, leave me alone. That just be what I be. I'm in the inside. I be like, man, let me just go in the room and just chill. But see, being a warrior, I got this thing when I'm outside, when I'm at work, or when I'm dealing with people. I have a frown, or my wife tell me it's a frown, but I have a facial expression. When I hit the door, she be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I had to explain to her, "Hey, I'm dealing with this crazy world out here. So when I come, I gotta decompress. So before I deal with you and you feel like it's you, I need a little space so I can decompress, so you can know, hey, his attitude ain't to me." And what I've learned about at least my wife and a lot of women, they read, first of all, they responders. Whatever we do, if we shut down, they shut down. And you be like, man, look, you need to talk to me. She's like, man, I don't want to talk to you. I'm shutting down too. And what they do, they take on, and I don't even know if they realize it, they'll take on your characteristics, and you be like, God, that's cold-blooded.
Right.
So when you start to open up more, she started to open up more.
True.
And I had to learn that, because I was like, man, this is crazy. And what I've noticed, and at least to me, and I did studies, men, when they get with the woman, they really, with all women that we be with, if we go back to our mother, that woman in her core is like our mother.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think that's kind of where we go wrong at too. We expect women to be our mom, our mothers, but it's a whole nother different generation.
Like,
and times is different, and the structure of the woman is completely different. I mean, the core is still there, but it ain't the and not to take away like the women of this generation, but I'm just saying it's not the same.
Like I talk to people all the time. I got a homeboy. He be like, bruh, you don't know what I'm dealing with. I said, bruh, what you mean? Bruh, man, they be tripping, man. They all about them. I said, hey, bruh. I said, have you really got to know them? Have you really poured into them? I said, you got to look at your background, because your background, however you level them up, because it might be something she don't even want to do, or she might feel like she don't have to do. But if you level up, she'll do it for you. He was like, man, I ain't never think about it like that. And I'm like, bro, listen.
And that's true. Like, the person that you with is truly a reflection of you. Like, how they act and how they go about things, that's a reflection of how you act and how you do things.
Especially because the man dictated. Because, like, I've always noticed if the dude cool, like, he might get with a chick who appears to be loud. If he cool and he toned down,
yeah, she gonna tone it down.
Cause eventually he gonna put her up on game. Hey, check this out. I move like this for this reason.
Right.
I don't let certain people get near to me for this reason. And and I'm only telling you this because we done got years in, because months and a year or 2 years, you like, man, I'm still trying to figure you out. So I ain't finna tell you, like we talked about the game, I ain't gonna tell you the whole rules of the game right off the rip, cause I gotta make sure you here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And most of us, that's where we go wrong at. Far as we don't really deal with family, man. And that's one thing we got to get to dealing with family, like, cause like what I've been trying to do here lately when I interview people, especially people who like they know you KB Brown the rapper, but
Mm-hmm.
they need to know KB Brown the man, Mr.
The
Brown.
man. Yeah, and that's really what I'm really trying to tap more into now. Just trying to display who I am as a man to the world versus being political and just basically just trying to give people more of an insight instead of just I call it introvert because I'm trying to come out of being an introvert, but I have to recognize that I'm an introvert first to even work on it.
Yeah. But see, guess what though? I knew that. I knew that years ago. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even think I shared it with you. We was at a funeral. I'm gonna tell you who funeral we was at. You remember Derek Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
They call him Cool Derek. I ain't gonna put the A out there, but Cool Derek from the South Side. So I was at the funeral. I seen you. We spoke, but at that funeral, I said that man's an introvert. I said I see it. You mob by yourself. And you how you grieve doing, because I peep everything. I said, oh, he remind me of me. I said, okay, so he gotta be an introvert. So I'm like, okay, that's when I first knew it. I was like, okay, that's why. And if you notice, most introverts are deep thinkers.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's
So
facts. That's facts. That's big facts.
so I was like, okay, I'm peeping it. I was like, whenever I get a chance to share it with him, I'm gonna tell him. So that's me sharing it with you, because I was like, because me and Derek, we the same age. We went to high school together. So, like, I was like, okay. And you be surprised when you go to funerals, who knew who.
Right.
Because okay. I was like, I know y'all both from, like, he from 2/5, you from Mitch Ave, that's right down the street. So I was like, okay. But hearing your music, this how people, even me, I was like, nah, he would. But you be surprised. You never know who.
Mm-hmm. And just like I say, man, I come from them same areas. I mean, the only difference for me is the route that I took. That's the only difference. I still grew up with them same dudes.
Yeah.
And as much as I try not to show that, I'm still that at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can't escape your humble beginnings, because that's part of who you are as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. Been a pleasure chopping it up with you. And I think this one, when it do come out, this one gonna be a whole lot. We dive deep on a whole lot of subjects, man.
It's subjects I ain't never even talked on. I mean, I never even spoke on.
And see, that be my job to say, hey, let me touch on this. And I always like to give the person the respect. Hey, bro, I don't want to talk about that. And you got to be respectful. But I like to dive deep, because me, especially being an introvert, I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. I study people. I'm sitting in there, I'm like, he don't know me, so I got to figure out what he on before I even walk over there and say, what's happening?
Right, man, because I'm the same way.
So I'm like, man, he on that bed, man. I'll holler at you, man. What's happening? And be gone.
Yeah, and just be done with it. Yeah, I feel that.
So I guess what part and words you want to leave with the people?
Man, stay blessed, man. Like, stay safe. Take care of your family. get your money, stay out the way, and be ready for some KB Brown in the next month or two. Cause I'm going crazy this year.
You got a lead singer on that thing? I like to get a little sneak peek. You got a lead singer, or you just gonna do your thing?
Man, man, to be honest with you, I just started recording like on January 10th. I haven't been in the booth since we did I Can't Breathe.
So you finna put in some serious work, because you say
I already dropped 5 songs already. 5 already. So I got over 30 songs to record.
And how long?
We did I Can't Breathe in June.
Now I'm saying you finna do 30 something. When you plan on releasing the project? You said within a month?
No. It won't be 30 songs. I'm just saying I got 30 songs to record.
Okay. So you got 30 songs already wrote.
Hey, I got 30 songs I already wrote.
Yeah, you might not been in the studio, but you definitely been doing what you supposed to do if you got 30.
And another thing, like the topics that we touched on, like just having this whole conversation, is the topics that I'm touching on with new music, just like relationships, just me as a person, as a man, what I went through, like in this last year, or like just dealing with deaths and all that. I'm just opening up more about me as a man versus me being on the political side, just talking about that. So this conversation and my new music, it go hand in hand.
I'm glad we did it then, when we did it.
Yes, sir. So, man, y'all gonna be looking out for it. Probably like March, early March. I think I'm probably about, I say it's probably about 19 songs or something like that. I already done 5, but I think I'm gonna just go on and just record, and I just pick the best 8 or 9 songs to go on it, and we just do it like that.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I definitely be waiting on it, cause I know you gonna come with something. I already know.
Man, I'm just learning to be more across the board. So what I've been doing with this, I just been playing with different flows, switching the cadence, touching on different subject matters. This time around, I'm picking the beats that I want to rap off of. It's not like people sending me beats and then I'd be like, man, it's cool, I can just rap off of it. I'm actually going and pick the beats that I want to rap off of. So that's gonna be the difference this time around.
So I got an exclusive. So you saying the last time, your previous projects, you was just taking the beats that was basically sent to you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, like somebody send you some beats, you're like, okay, I like that. Like I can rap off of it, but it's just because somebody sent it to you. But what I've been doing, I actually been going searching for the beats that I want.
Okay.
So I was just like, that's the sound. That's what I'm trying to go to. So once you hear the music this time, you gonna be like, oh yeah, he really ain't pocking now, because this is okay. To describe my sound, it's a conscious feel, but it's over trap beats.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear that.
So okay, conscious music get overlooked because of the content.
True.
And trap music, it don't matter how you do it. If the beat hard, they're gonna listen to it. So if you combine conscious flow that's getting overlooked and putting it over trap beats, that's gonna make them listen to the conscious flow just because of the beat. They listen to the beat like the beat hard, but okay, he's saying something. So that's what's gonna separate me from the next artist. It's just because how I'm going about, how the format that I'm going about putting the music together.
You might need to coin a term, you know, like T.I. and them had trap music. You might need to coin a term for that.
Introvert music.
Conscious lyrics over trap beat. Introvert music.
That's the KB Brown starter pack.
Hey,
we can do it like that.
That's what's happening, man. Hey, man, this is the Deprogram show with my brother Kevin Brown, aka Kelvino,
Yes,
KB Brown. Hey man, it was a pleasure. Keep doing your thing and salute. We definitely gonna get together.
yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.